It's 5:07. Tammy, are you taking notes?
No, we're recording and Jane's gonna do the minutes off of recording.
Okay. All right.
I didn't have any corrections or anything in the minutes, did you?
I did have one small one.
Okay,
Line 47. It said, Robinson thought it would be a God practice to add the
Oh.
following statement. As much as I agree,
that's a God catch. I mean,
it is. Let's change that to good, just to,
sure.
all
I'll
right.
make a motion to approve the minutes of November 16th, 2020 as amended.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye. I'll make a motion to approve the November 16th non-public meeting minutes as presented.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right, so those two get approved.
You want to do the abatements while we're waiting for Jane?
Do the abatements. Did you
Okay.
get to read?
I did, yep.
Okay, basically this was a mix-up. There was 2 lots owned by the Good Booze. One of them was sold to this guy, Mr. Howell, and it was the wrong tax card that was attributed to the buyer. They sold the other lot, not the one, so they had to switch them back. So that's why we're abating these 2, and then we signed a new warrant for her to collect taxes, the same amount, but just to the 2 different people.
On the opposite ones, yeah.
So,
So
all right,
I'll make a motion to approve both abatements.
I'll second that. All those in favor?
Aye. And Jane Leslie has those tax map numbers and stuff that she could put with that motion.
Correct. And you and I have both signed those.
Yep. So I think Jonna was good with that and she was gonna go ahead and send them out.
You didn't sign the warrant. There's 2
Yes.
places to sign it.
I did. I signed it in one place and then she took it, made copies, and then I signed it in the second one. I did get the second spot.
Okay.
After she made the copies.
Okay.
Yeah, good catch though.
All right.
I'll make a motion to approve the Sanssouci agreement for the valuation of the is it just the lines?
Just
Poles and lines?
all of the utility property.
And I just wanted the question was, I think it's been signed by myself, but it was the same price that he held from the last one, which is 5 years ago. Same
Yeah.
price. So,
Okay.
yeah. So
That's
the question you guys had was.
That was the only question. Yep.
Yep,
And-
same thing. Yep.
It's good to know that, but that almost becomes irrelevant because that's just for the base,
Right.
right? Then on the back page, it's all of the
Rates if he has to testify.
Right,
Right,
the
right, exactly.
rates for him, the rates for his secretary, all these other rates that just get added on top of that. So
Yeah.
Technical person, the clerical personnel, yeah.
yeah, so it depends on who files for an abatement or Board of Land and Tax Appeals or whatever. So anyway, I will second that motion to sign the contract. All those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Next on the agenda was a discussion about the town-wide face covering, in other words, a mask ordinance.
And thank you to Jane for doing the research and getting the copies to us, but it's kind of a mute point at this.
Yeah, I'm thinking it's probably a moot point now since the
Well,
governor.
it's statewide, so which supersedes anything the town does, so.
Well, the way his, not to belabor this, but the way his issue is worded, from my understanding, is that we can do something more strict than what he did, but not less strict. But I'm not in favor of that. It was just enacted a couple of days ago. Let's see how this plays out.
Yep.
And,
Exactly.
I agree.
all right, so we'll pass over that. Next item, we're going to be done before Jane joins us.
I know, poor
Right.
Jane.
Next item is the short-term rental ordinance. We voted on this last
Right.
week. She's included that in the copy. Did you have any problems with?
No, none, no, I love how she put it in there.
Yeah,
And that's on, we put that on applications and everything. So it's all, it's on the
Perfect.
agreement, but then, yep.
So we all just needed to sign the amended
the amended version.
Correct, the amended ordinance,
Yep.
so.
All right, so if that's on the desk this week, I'll be in to sign it at some point.
Yeah, me too.
And again,
Also, the payroll needs to be, we need to sign those before Wednesday noon time, I think, because in order to get payroll out, because nobody's there Thursday. So just an FYI.
all right, so Wednesday, we have to sign payroll.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm closing the office at 2 on Wednesday, so not.
I think
there's only
Jonna
probably-
wants it by noon to
Yeah,
make her life
noon
easy.
would be awesome if you guys
Yeah.
could get in before then.
When will it be ready to sign? Will it
It'll be
ready-
ready tomorrow mid-morning, I think she said.
Okay, I'll be in, wait, what's tomorrow's? Tuesday?
Tuesday.
Yeah.
Oh, no,
So-
I'm sorry. Tuesday, I'm gone all day. Wednesday, I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll put
So
Wednesday.
anywhere between
Yep.
Tuesday mid-morning and Wednesday noon. And don't forget, we need to pass that along to Jane when she ever,
Okay.
She should be coming in any moment now.
okay, good. While we're waiting for her, I like the update that the Lincoln Woodstock Senior Service Advisory Council
Yeah,
sent to us. Did you read that? That was great.
I did
Yeah.
also, yes.
Yeah, I hope, and Jane, Leslie, hope, please include this in the minutes. So people can look at it online too. That was kind of neat. They're doing a lot of grab and go meals just to face with some of the folks that can't, there's no congregate meals because of COVID, so. No, that was a good thing. I'm glad she put that in there. That was nice.
All right, Ron, do you see any sign of Jane?
yep. I think she's,
Yeah,
Oh, there she's connecting.
took her 2 attempts. I let her out of the waiting room twice. I guess she didn't believe me the first time.
Technology, you gotta love it, you know?
Could I add something to the senior center?
Certainly.
As far as I know, I'm on the board, and I was informed quite a long time ago that they needed a cook, and I believe they still do need a cook. And is there any way that the town could get that out in a public notice?
We could possibly share it on our Facebook page.
Facebook page would be the best way to do that.
Yeah,
Because a lot of people, older people that might be looking for a job like that, I don't do Facebook. I just thought maybe you could send it out as a flyer when you're sending out all these things, agendas and everything else from the town, where people are reading that maybe you could do that for the senior center, because they haven't had a cook for some time. And Eleanor is
I think
gone.
let me look into that because they're
Well-
not a state agency, they're a private. So, but
Well,
we can
this-
certainly put it on our Facebook page. Yeah.
right. And this conversation will now be included in the
Yeah, it's
minutes.
it's out in public.
So now it'll be in the
Let's talk
public
about it.
minutes
Yep.
that they're looking for
Yep.
a cook. Yeah.
Yep.
Okay.
All right.
Hi,
Jane,
Jane.
Hi, Jane. Oh,
Oh,
she's
now
asleep.
she's froze up.
Yeah.
I say, I don't see her at all. Oh, I see you there, but,
It's rainy and windy out here, so I imagine.
All right, well, let's move. The next thing on the agenda is a lot line adjustment for 25 School Street.
Right.
Now, you see in the packet, I included, this was from Attorney Gordon Graham. This was sent to the school board from the school board's attorney, and it was discussed in public meeting last Wednesday at the school board meeting. And I did tell them there that I was going to include this in with the information given to the selectmen tonight. And to summarize it all, the school intends to put on the warrant the town's right away at the end of Pleasant Street, just to clear that up. That is going to be a warrant article. If the town has no intention of giving Denise Harradine a driveway permit, then we're not going to bother putting anything on the warrant because it's a moot point. However, if it is the town's intention to give Denise Harradine a driveway permit once she has a right-of-way across there, then the school board will put it on their warrant. I think I said that right, because the town can't give her a driveway permit until she has the right-of-way. The school's not going to put it on the warrant if the town doesn't intend to give her the driveway permit. So what Ms. Harradine needs is something in writing from the town of Lincoln, say that once she has her right-of-way, if she gets a right-of-way, that the town has every intention of giving her a driveway permit if that's what we decide.
Yeah.
Also, I would need in writing that I would be permitted to build or put up a mobile or a stick home within the guidelines of the setbacks.
But we can't give you that. The planning board would have to give you that.
So that would have to come along with it before I make that decision to do that, because it would be a moot point for me to say, yes, I want a driveway, and then the planning board says, no, you can't put a house there.
Okay, so can I suggest this? Nate is on. Nate and I have discussed this. Nate can chime in, but we have no issue with a driveway into our right-of-way, which we're eventually going to get. So,
Mhm.
we're
That's correct.
Right.
Yeah. So,
Can you tell me when you decided that? Because I don't remember that, Butch. I remember we had a brief conversation, but I don't remember voting on it or anything. So you're
We
saying the
haven't voted
town,
on
I
it.
don't
no,
know.
we
It's
haven't
all-
voted on nothing. I'm just saying
Haven't.
the Public
It's all
Works
opinion.
Department has no problem with a driveway coming into that right-of-way, as long as the driveway does not in any way block snow removal, which is we plow to the ends of that hammerhead.
Mhm.
So we have to come in on our right-of-way in a spot approved by the Public Works Director, so that it doesn't interfere with snow plowing. So that's from the Public Works Director. The Planning Board issue, Carol gave me a brief note. There are some issues that the Planning Board's going to have to take up, so Ms. Harradine will have to bring that to the Planning Board to subdivide that lot. She still has until another whole year. It's until December 31st, 2021. The state law is that those lots were merged, and now they can still be unmerged up until December 31st, 2021. So she's still in that window.
Right. Is there any way of me getting an extension on that?
No, that's definitive. December 31st, 2021 is the state legislative deadline. So
Back in 2007, or whenever this was put in, it was never actually a legal right-of-way, because the school board, Judith McCann, said that they have to vote on it in March. Is that correct?
they do.
Because
So-
it was never voted on, so it's never been a legal right-of-way.
Correct. That's
Correct.
going to be rectified this March at the district meeting. The school
Right.
board has already decided to
So
put
I
that
have to
on.
wait until March to find that out. Meanwhile, all these other things have to take place in order for me to get my ducks in a row, if that's something I wanted to do or not. Now, as you know, it's almost impossible to get people in this town right now because everyone's so busy building and everything else. And to get, like I said, get my ducks in a row, to find out if this is a feasible thing that I want to do, it's starting me out in March. It's giving me not a lot of time.
I
Well,
mean,
the first steps to do, which aren't going to cost any money, literally, is, get a letter from the town. Well, we will vote and decide one way or the other. And if we do vote to decide that we intend to give you a driveway permit,
Mhm.
once you have a legal right of way, then that letter doesn't cost you any money at all. You'll have that in hand that says, yep, once and when and if you get a legal right of way, we intend to give you a driveway permit.
Mhm.
Then you take that and go to the school and they put it on the warrant for the district, the voters to vote on
Mhm.
whether or not to give you a right of way to
Mhm.
have a driveway.
Mhm.
And they'll put that on the warrant for March. It's not going to cost you any money at all.
Okay.
So
And
say that all that happens, and in March, the voters decide, oh, sure, give her a right of way, and the town says, yep, we'll give you a driveway permit. Then, and only then, will you have to start deciding whether you want to go in front of the planning board to put up a house or roll in a mobile home, or, you know, start applying for your permits to build or to have a driveway or whatever. These two steps to get a letter from the town and get the school to put it on the warrant aren't going to cost you anything. And they have to happen before you can do anything else. And they can't happen until March because the voters have to vote on it.
Right, which should have happened back in 2007.
If you know, this is a different issue. 2007 was the town's right of way. Right now, today is your right of way.
Well, the Judith told me that she couldn't do anything because her lawyer said that they didn't have the legalities to decide because they had to vote in March.
That is
We got
correct.
the letter from the lawyer. The district will vote in March to approve or not the right of way to the town at the end of the street. I see no reason why the two towns would not approve that. That is the town of Lincoln's right of way to have that turnaround. That's going to be voted on. Then if you decide to go forward with this, then the very next article on the warrant will be your right of way to put a driveway in there.
Mm-hmm.
They both need to happen this March in order for you to go ahead with whatever plans you may have for that property.
Right. I'm just stating the obvious that if this didn't all have to happen by March, it should have been taken care of many years ago.
Even if the town's
Okay,
right of way
right.
was
Let's-
taken
let's-
care
let's
of
not
years
belabor-
ago.
Let's not belabor that point. What
But
should have
even
or
if
didn't?
it was, you would still have to do this step.
Okay.
All right,
I have
so Denise, I don't know who needs to apologize, but whatever should have happened in 2007 didn't. We need to decide what happens from November 23rd, 2020 going forward. That's all I want to discuss here tonight.
Okay.
Okay,
Can I make one more point?
let me make my point first. My
Okay.
point is this, that if this time schedule doesn't fit well for you, you can go to the planning board tomorrow and make application and ask for this subdivision to be approved conditional upon that vote in March. So you don't have to wait till March. You could go tomorrow and start this process. I don't know if Carol's working tomorrow, but
Okay.
you can
And
go
make it-
anytime and start this process and have it be conditioned on that vote in March.
Okay, I'm just writing here.
Yep.
Vote in March. Okay. Now, the other thing that I wanted to point out was when this was actually done, whoever did it, cleaved off a piece of my property. They took a fence down, and unbeknownst to me, because I wasn't living here full time then, and I came up one day and I found the back of my lot just a drop off. It used to just roll right into the school property, graded off. There was no drop off. So when I got back one day and I saw this big drop off and the work being done, and then they put in these few boulders, as Tammy knows what it looks like at the end there. And they put in a few boulders, and my property line is actually on the boulders. So they took off a piece, dropped it down about 10 feet, and that was so that they could make this thing happen. Now, where do I go with that?
And this happened in 2007?
Yes.
I can't unmute myself.
I mean, I lost
Unmute.
land in this.
Yeah.
I lost the
I hear
10
you, Tammy.
feet. I lost the 10 feet, I guess. Is it 10 feet that the town actually owns between street and house. Is that how it works here?
No, the lot line is the lot line.
Okay,
There's a line there that differentiates your land from the school land. I don't know where that is, but
okay,
there is
it's
a
right.
line.
It was, if you understand what I'm saying, it was cut off, dropped down. And now there are, if you go look at it, it's obvious. I mean, you look up and there's a tree
Oh,
line there
uh,
that Ted Sutton was here at the time. And I said, my fence is gone. They've taken out half, a big piece of the land, and it doesn't exist the way it existed before. So I'm just wondering if there's anything that could be done about that, or the line. I don't know. It's not the same piece of land that it was when I moved here and that I bought.
What are you proposing?
I'm not sure.
I mean,
I'm
it
just
sounds
putting-
like if you're gonna develop that back piece of land, that you're gonna need to bring a driveway grade from whatever level your property is at, or the house will be at, or the mobile home, down to the level, grade level of the street or the turnaround.
Right, which if you go all the way to the end of the street, it's the original grade. But the rest of the entire lot, which is actually about a driveway, if you go to the end of the lot, which is at the end of the street, it's the width of a driveway. And that grades right into the street. The rest of it
That's
is a
why we're
drop
pushing.
off. The rest of it's a drop off,
Yeah.
which really changed everything.
Oh, it's crazy.
And that's exactly what Nate's, won't issue a driveway permit at the end of that street,
Right.
because that's where we push snow. So Denise is right. They had to, I guess, build a retaining wall in order to make that street.
They had to retain my property.
Right.
Okay, I've got Tammy by phone. Her internet kind of seized up, so I've got her on my speaker.
Okay.
She'd like to talk to you for a sec while she's trying to get back in.
So
Go ahead, Tammy.
Nate,
I apologize, Denise.
Sympathize with Jane. I think our lines are just blowing around like crazy here.
Nate actually,
There was definitely a survey done before that hammerhead was built, and the rock wall is 2 feet off of the property line from the school, and it's on the school property 2 feet from the property line between the school and Miss Herdine.
and then the cliff continues to go up where the rocks did not, because it was going to be a liability if they put any more rocks up there.
They did a taper. Yeah.
It tapered off like they normally do. It's
Which was my property.
not a liability thing. It's just how they're built. And that went on to the Corsi property. It was then.
Yeah, but no, it really didn't go on to his property.
Up against, it's about 3 feet from that property line up at that point.
It just, it to me just, Nate had said that I could put a driveway where we talked about. Are you there, Nate? Is Nate there? No? Okay. Anyway, we did talk about it.
I'm here, Denise.
Oh, okay. Yeah, when we looked at it, you said that I could definitely put a driveway where we talked about at the
Right.
end.
Right off the end, but not at the hammerhead part, but yeah, where the rocks ended there.
Right.
Yep.
Where the rocks ended. Yeah. And, I may be a little squished up there because of my neighbors and setbacks and this and that. And that was all because, again, this cliff was developed on my property. So I'm not sure what I'm asking for to answer your question, OJ, but it's something that I am thinking of and considering on what to do about.
Then, I don't
Does
know.
everybody understand what I'm saying?
I think I'm back on.
Yeah, and again, I don't have an answer. I don't know exactly what that all looks like, and when you're talking about rocks and drop offs and stuff. But
Okay.
with that being said, you should first get very clear with Nate as to where the driveway entrance into that turnaround can be and where it cannot be.
Mm-hmm.
And then, if you go forward with the planning board, talk to I assume you're gonna have some site work done there anyway. You're gonna need,
Right,
someone to come in there with a, bucket loader and
right,
make this work.
which could do something to that wall that was never there to begin with. It could disrupt things to a point where I'm not an architect. I'm
Other-
not.
The setback's 15 feet. So you really don't need to
Right.
do much work within the setback. So when you go back 15 feet and then a 45-degree angle, anything you put on your property, that would be the loading on that retaining wall. So at 15 feet back, you're probably not gonna cause an issue with the slope and that short wall that's already there.
Ron, she may have to have that wall taken apart anyways, so that she can run utilities out to Pleasant Street. So
That's gonna come from Pleasant Street and not school?
it's gonna have to. So so she can have gravity sewer. So that whole situation with that wall might just go away, and it might end up being regraded to somewhat what she had before
Yeah, could be.
when she does decide what she's gonna do there. And then I think that would solve that problem. And
Well, it couldn't, Nate, it couldn't be regraded to what I had before because it was graded right into that hammerhead. So it can never be what it was before.
Well, the grade of the street is what it is. And you'll need to get a site work person to design a driveway to come in and meet at that level without putting runoff or coming in too steep or whatever. It needs to, comply with the rules of bringing a driveway into a town road. But, like Nate just said, you're going to be digging, 6 or more feet deep for water lines and sewer lines. And you're going to be tearing up that whole thing anyway to regrade it when you're done. Again, I can't visualize the property, but that's going to need to be done no matter what. But, the level of our street is not changing. So.
It did change me. It changed my property at the time. It's not the piece that I bought.
It didn't change your property. Your property ends where your property always ended. It has changed the school's property on this side of the property line. Your side of the property line was always there. It always ended right there. It was always that high. It changed the school property. When that hammerhead was put in and that rock wall was put up, your property wasn't touched. The school property touched. That drop off is on the school property, not yours.
Should I have been notified at the time?
I can't answer that.
Denise,
That was back in 06.
Yeah, I remember you telling me that they gave you those plans for property. Denise, I remember you sharing that with me one time.
Mm-hmm.
Those little pine.
They gave
Have
that
a bite.
there. They put those up because they had taken the fence down without my permission.
Oh, I thought you had talked to them.
I
You
did.
didn't talk, no one talked to you
No, never,
prior to that?
never.
Oh, I thought you had told me okay.
No, that's when I talked to Ted Sutton and I said, what happened here? And he said he wasn't really sure. So I don't know. It's just kind of a mess out there. And when I bought it, it's deeded 2 property pieces and 2 deeds, and it was sold to me as a double lot. And I thought in the future, like now, I would be able to either sell it or put something out there myself. So that's where I stand right now. And because of that big cliff that was added in, I mean, the property didn't have a cliff when I bought it.
The property still doesn't have a cliff. Your
Well, it
property
has
has no cliff.
A
The school
retention,
property has a cliff.
a retention wall.
The school property has a retention wall. Your property does not. And it can be, a driveway can be put in there. I mean, it'll have to be done at your expense, but it can be put in there. It would have had to be done at your expense regardless of whether the turnaround was put there or not.
I would like it if the board members would take a ride down there and just take a look so they know what, I know you knows Tammy and Jane, and you both know if OJ and everybody
a look.
else could just take a run down there and take a look at what I'm talking about.
Do you intend to go forward in March with, to try to get the right of way from the school or not?
I'm not sure what I intend to do because everything's been so up in the air. You said that, you know, that won't cost me a thing.
Correct.
Right. So then
Well, until, I mean, to go through the process, it won't cost you anything.
right.
Once you're awarded the right of way, then you'll have to pay the recording fees, you know, the deed recording fees and things. But other
Yeah.
than that, it won't.
Okay.
I'm just wondering, would you like us to decide whether you can have a driveway permit if you get your right of way, or do you not want us to bother doing any of that?
Yeah, I would like that, as long as it's not going to cost me anything.
It's not.
Yeah.
And then you can take that to the school. The school can put it on the town warrant, and the district can vote on that.
Mhm.
And if you are awarded through the vote, a right of way to put a driveway in, you still technically don't have to do anything
Mhm.
if you decide not to. At that point in March is when you'd have to decide whether you're going to do anything or not. And that's totally up to you. The only thing at that point that you'd have to pay is for the recording fee
Mhm.
for the right of way if you intend to use it.
Right, and that would be in March.
Correct.
And then after that, I have until the end of the year to have it unfused.
Correct. Correct.
Is there any way of my finding out how much it's going to cost me in taxes should I have it unfused and do nothing? Can I get that figure at some point?
Yes, you can call town hall.
Well, no, wait, be careful of that answer.
Okay.
The assessment company assesses what's on the tax card. They
Right.
won't go out and just do a, you know, look at a piece of land and give it.
Estimate.
Yeah, the tax card will have to be changed in order for us to engage our assessing company to go out there.
And how long would that take?
They won't do it till it's done. They're not
Yeah.
going to give you an estimate on a maybe.
Yeah, they won't do that.
Nope.
Once it's officially subdivided, then it gets put into their queue of things to do as an update for whatever tax year it's in. Okay, April 1st is the beginning of our tax year. So if it's done, whenever, it gets put into their queue, and then they do it kind of at their leisure. And usually they wait till there's a bunch of things and then go to work on them.
Okay, I probably have a lot more questions, but I guess that's good for now. Thank you.
All right, thanks. Nate, you still on board?
Yes, I am.
I think it would be helpful for the Board of Selectmen in making this decision, which we've not made, to somehow outline to us your recommendation, including where a driveway could go and where a driveway could not go, so that when we, or if we, assuming we grant permission to do this, it's with a drawing and a clear understanding of where we're saying we would vote to allow it. I just don't want this to get complicated as we get on the road and people forget what's been talked about.
Yep, I can do that.
All right.
And Ms. Harradine, I would just urge you to be mindful of time. For the school to put something on the warrant, they're going to need to know definitively whether you want that on the warrant by mid-January, I'd say.
And I have to notify them?
Correct. Yep, you'd have to have a letter from us, from the town, saying that if you get granted a right-of-way, we have every intention of giving you a driveway permit. And
All
with
right.
that, the school board will vote to put your right-of-way question on the warrant for March. But those, the state deadlines and such, they're gonna need to know by, I'm guessing, mid-January.
All right, and that's something you can do now?
Once we have feedback from Nate and whatnot, we can look at that. We can certainly put this on the agenda for next week and look at it again once we have Nate's input.
Okay,
I can get that squared away tomorrow. I can print up a map and do some measurements and sketch. And
Yeah, Nate, I'd like to ride down, I'll go down with you when you go look at that.
yeah, we can check that out tomorrow morning and
Nice.
go over it.
it would be great to give me a heads up so I can come out with you.
All right, good. So we'll
Thank
have,
you, Nate.
we'll have that for next week. Yes, thank you, Nate.
Yep.
All right, next
Are
thing,
we all set with Nate? Nate can sign off and go back.
yeah,
to
Nate, unless you had anything for the board.
Let's see.
Not that I know of, unless Butch has something.
Nate, why don't you fill them in? I was gonna, in my thing, talk about, you got the soft start or whatever it is installed at the camp.
Oh yeah, at the ski slope, we had our tech that we use at the water plant for our controls install a soft starter in the cabinet that controls the snowmaking pump. And what that does is it slowly starts the electric motor that runs that snowmaking pump without the huge immediate draw. So it should have definitely some serious life saving to the electric motor and the pump, as well as reduce any water hammer. And we think, and he's pretty positive, it's going to save us in electricity as well. The pump's not going to be running at full power all the time, and it's a programmable soft starter, so it's working really well, and we're going to try it out. So I think it's a good move. We've been talking about it since I've been here, so we finally made it happen.
Part of that energy audit that they suggested we make that move so it saves on electricity, so, and all the other stuff.
Good
And Nate-
move.
Yeah, and saves on equipment. No, that's a great thing. Thanks, Nate.
Yep, no problem.
Also, Nate, while you're on here, we're advertising for a new employee at the solid waste facility, not to name names or anything, but have you had some applicants, or how's that going? And what's your expected timeline on that?
We've had 3 applicants so far, and I believe Jane put it on the municipal website, so we're waiting to hear and see if we have any more.
I actually had occasion to talk to a couple of young guys that were moving furniture and were looking for a permanent job, and I handed my card to them, and actually one of them actually worked for a solid waste facility in Phoenix at one point, just as a worker. But I said, we're looking for young, able bodies, so we'll see if they apply or something. But anyway, so.
All right,
Excellent.
just wanted an update on that. Thanks, Nate.
Yep, no problem.
All right, Butch, you want to move right into the town manager's report?
Yeah, I can do that. I talked with Mr. Bartlett about the sign, and he has no problem with the town putting a sign up. And Nate is just off, but Nate's looking into getting a sign ordered. Mr. Bartlett just wanted us to know that it quote, won't help, but if the town wants to spend the money to put a sign back up, we can. So that's in the works. I've got a meeting with Ray Corber and the environmental engineers tomorrow. We got the test results back on the soil from the parking lot, and there was contamination detected. I'm not sure to what degree, but we'll be discussing that tomorrow, and I'll have more for you next week. The last thing
Has Ray come up with Ray was going to come up with a driveway concept?
he was
coming in there?
working on it. I don't have it yet, but he was
Okay.
going to work on it, but I haven't seen it yet.
All right, no worries.
One of the things that he is working on, and actually Mr. Bartlett and when I talked to him about the sign, talked about he said he's doesn't care if, as OJ said, that if we were to go straight out, but he feels that there'd be less impact on Main Street and traffic if we routed the traffic down the back of that mall and out to the light down at Connector Road. Would be a much smarter move. And so Ray hasn't heard that yet. So I may ask him to just see if that's a feasible alternative. Anyway, I'll just put that out there. And the last thing I have is in the last week, we've had 2 inquiries about property at the Industrial Park. Kurt O'Connell called again, and he's still interested in that lot and sees that nobody's bought it, and he wants to make an offer and buy it. That's the first thing. And then Steve Zala has someone interested in a lot. He was asked for the covenants to be sent to him today so he could get it to his client, and that was done today. So I said I'd give it to the board. So that's the latest.
Do we have anything in writing from Kurt O'Connell?
I think he'd do it in a heartbeat. He thought that the other folks were going to buy that lot and have it, and he wants it. So I will, with your permission, I'll get back to him and say, put something in writing. I don't know what the deal is.
Does he want that specific lot?
He does. He wants that lot.
Yes, that was.
He's
You can think
welcome.
about it.
I
He's,
think if we're gonna let Kurt know that he can put an offer in, I think we should also let the other interested party know that there's an offer coming.
Yeah, and I think, well, the thing is the other parties have put it off, I think, twice since you agreed, and they wanted it extended because of the COVID and this and that. So they've had 2 opportunities. I don't know what their plans are. I certainly haven't talked to them, but so they've been kind of pushing us down the road.
true. I guess I don't really want to start discussing this without the initiative of a written proposal.
Yep.
And in that written proposal, you may suggest to him he might want to justify to the board why he wants that particular lot out of the 7 vacant lots that are in that industrial park.
Okay, I will do that.
I think we would be curious to understand that desire for a specific lot.
Yep. And that's all I have for tonight.
Butch, can I make an appointment with you? Because you were like, I can hardly hear what's going on. You come and go, everybody. So are you going to be around tomorrow afternoon? No, you won't be. All right. I hate Zooming sometimes for this reason. But
It's so
I'll call
rainy.
you. How's that? Can I call you?
Yeah, call me. You can call me.
Can I call
Jane.
you tomorrow, Butch?
Yeah, absolutely.
Can you
Get a
hear
minute.
me?
Give me a, yeah.
Oh,
I have a 2
yeah, because I really didn't hear anything you said, and it was like,
I have a 2
yeah, it's
o'clock.
bad.
I think I have a 2 o'clock
Okay.
Zoom, but call in the morning, and I can tell you when. If you don't have time in the morning, we'll find a time that you do.
No, I do. I have time in the morning. I'll give you a call in the morning.
Yep, sounds good. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah, it's so rainy and windy that mine keeps coming in and out too, Jane. It's not just you. I think it's the weather.
Yeah.
Well, it's sunny and beautiful up here in North Lincoln. I don't know what's wrong with you people.
Where there's no traffic.
Right. Butch, is there any update on the department budgets? Where do we stand, or where do you stand on getting budgets from departments? And
Yep. I do. I should have. I just wanted to tell you that it's good here.
yeah, please.
I should have the budgets to you guys this week before we go on the holiday break. John and I have 2 more things to work on. Chad's jumped off, but the biggest item that you're gonna see that's affecting the bottom line is Chad's looking for 3 police officers. And it's gonna be in the budget. I told him to put it there to get the conversation going. He's actually looking for a lot more than that, but we're looking at grants. The law enforcement side grants, unlike fire, are 75, 50, 25 over a 3-year period where they pay all the expenses. He has an immediate need. He's built the case for it. So at my urging, at my suggestion, we put it in the budget so that it gets immediate attention. And so you're going to see that. So I'll give you that heads up that's coming. Ron is looking for personnel as well, but we've signed on with a grant writer, and we're going to be looking at the fire side for personnel, and that's 100% grant for 3 years, all expenses, including benefits. It pays it all, so a little different program. So those 2 are coming in, and then there's just the usual stuff. So give you a heads up on that, and we'll go from there. So you should have it. We'll see that before I leave on Wednesday. We'll have it so it's hand carried, the budgets to the 3 of you. So if you wanted to review them over the weekend or whatever, we can start talking about it Monday. As soon as you're ready, I'll actually schedule times when each department head will be in with me, and we'll discuss them with the board. I figure we'll give you Monday for comments after you see it, and then we'll start scheduling whatever your time period is, whatever you want to do.
That sounds good.
Okay. All right.
All right, that's all I had. Jane, did you have anything for town manager? Or the board?
You're muted, Jane. Jane, you're muted.
There you go.
Nope, you're back. You're muted.
Jane, we can't hear you.
That's what I thought. Okay.
There you go.
All right. Now can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Yay.
You just have
Ron,
Zoom
did you
fatigue.
mute me? Boy, this is the worst I've had from my house ever. I've tried 3 different laptops. I finally got you on the town laptop, which is a
Tell
good thing.
Steve to get off the
But
computer.
this
You'll
is
have more
kind of
bandwidth.
something- One thing I was thinking about, I don't know if this is appropriate for this board or not, but just via Zoom and with the cell tower, and I don't know if I can talk about that here or I should go to planning board and ask it. What do you think? I just have a question.
Are you talking about the one being
Can I ask?
proposed to be built?
Yes. Go to the planning board and ask?
Yeah, I would. I would not want to discuss this outside of that meeting.
All right.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah.
Okay. All right.
It looks like we lost her. Oh, there she is.
I unmuted myself. So then I'll go to the planning board and ask. I just don't want to be too late. So,
Where is
what
the
else
cell
did I
tower
have? That was,
supposed to go? Can I ask where the
I'm
cell?
sorry?
Can I ask where the cell tower is planning to go?
Up behind
Route 3.
the old Glen Press building across from Parker's Motel.
And is that a definite?
To the,
It's definitely
No.
on the planning board's agenda for December 9th.
Okay.
December 9th.
Yep.
And that's their second public hearing, and they only have 2 public hearings. So Denise, you know, it depends on whether you want to sell tower or Lincoln or not.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, to get Zoom.
I would have to speak with
A
them.
lot of people not happy.
Not happy with it?
Okay, let's not discuss it here at the,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Select
Oh,
board.
Very hesitant to discuss this outside of that board.
On the 9th, there'll be a meeting at the planning board.
okay.
Yeah, on the 9th, Denise.
Was that it for you,
Okay,
Jane?
thank you.
Jane, anything else?
No, thank you.
All right, Tammy?
Have we heard anything from Dave Fox from Raftellus?
No, we have not. I'll try to,
I don't want to run out of time to get something on the warrant for water meters again this year.
yeah, let me try again.
All
Okay.
right.
Especially if we're looking for grants in the future for, any water projects or sewer projects. We're gonna need meters to qualify for a lot of that stuff.
Yeah.
And that was all I had.
That's
Everything else I
That's
had was
important
covered.
too, because the budget it's coming to you, obviously, we have, unless meters go on or, the only, that's the only warrant article that we would probably have other than the acceptance of grants. So I don't know if that would be the big one this year if we were gonna do any warrant articles. Yeah,
Okay.
as far as I know.
All right, then I'll open up for public discussion. Is there anyone? I don't see or hear anything. All right, then I'll make a motion. We go into non-public. Number one, I want to discuss the two pieces of correspondence we got from the attorney over the CRVI lawsuit.
Yeah,
And number two, an update on that same personnel issue to see if there's anything new from last week and what we need to do. So,
We also have correspondence from the, was it Nelson?
oh,
there was
yes,
an email on
Very-
Nelson. I
That's-
haven't had a chance to read that.
I haven't read it either.
Oh,
That just came in this afternoon.
42 riveting pages.
Yeah, so I have not had a chance, so I wouldn't be able to talk intelligently on that email. It just came in this afternoon. So.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
All
we
right.
still can talk about it.
I will second your
I
motion, OJ.
All right. All those in favor? Aye. All right, Ron.
Aye.
Ron,
I-
can
oh,